Well, y'all know me. I like to gather all my ingredients first to make the video a lot shorter and to make it easier. Got all my ingredients gathered. So our water is ready for our noodles, and I got my salt in here and my oil, and we're gonna just go ahead and add our noodles. And we're gonna just cook these until they're like al dente, because you don't want to overcook them, because you're gonna cook them again in the oven when they go in the oven for baking. My noodles are where I want them. It's actually been about 7 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and take these off and drain them. And we're not gonna rinse them off. We're just gonna dump them back into the same pot they came out of. Just gonna dump them back into the same pot. And we're gonna add our stick of butter. I'm using the half sticks, so I'm gonna use 2 of them to make my 1 stick. We're gonna drop the butter over in here. Give that a little stir. And we're gonna actually let this sit until we get ready for it. Now we're gonna brown our ground beef. And we're just gonna cook the ground beef until all the pinkness is gone. And once all the pinkness is gone, we're just gonna drain some of the fat off, and then we're gonna add our onions and our seasoning. I will not record the entire process of browning the meat off. I'll come back once it's ready. Alrighty, the pinkness is pretty much gone. We're gonna go ahead and turn this off, and we're gonna drain the fat off it. So what I have here is like a strainer and another bowl underneath. So I remove the top piece, and the fats remain on the bottom, and the beef is without fat. Just like that. And I'm gonna add this back to the pot, then I'm gonna go ahead and add my onions and my seasoning to it. Now we're gonna go ahead and add our onions and let them sweat for about 3 minutes or so. And I'm gonna go ahead and add my seasonings as well. And we're gonna just let this go for about 3 minutes. Won't show the entire thing, but about 3 minutes. And then we're gonna move on to making the cheese sauce. So we'll be back when I'm ready to start making the cheese sauce. We're gonna go ahead and start the cheese sauce. We're gonna start by adding the butter. 1 stick of butter. Like I said, I'm using half sticks, so I gotta put 2 in. Gonna let this melt, and then we're gonna add our flour. Let me turn this heat down a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and add our flour. We're not gonna brown it, we're just gonna kind of cook it until we get that doughy taste out of the flour. And get all the clumps out. Then we're gonna go ahead and add some of the milk. I'm not gonna add it all. Just to kind of get me started. And when it's starting to thicken where I want it, I'll go ahead and start adding the cheeses. And I'll be adding the cheeses in no particular order. And I'm just gonna start with the Velveeta. Kind of give that a little time to melt. The Velveeta is pretty much melted, so we're gonna go ahead and add our cream cheese. Like I say, in no particular order, I'm just adding it as I go. It's up to you in what order you want to add it. All right, cream cheese is pretty much melted, and we're gonna go ahead and add our parmesan. And at this point, I'm gonna add a little more milk. Now we're gonna add our mozzarella. And we're gonna add our cheddar. I'm kind of on medium heat here. I don't wanna burn it or scorch it. And we're gonna add some more milk. It's gonna be kind of thick, so don't be alarmed. It's gonna be all right. It's all gonna work out in the end. Don't worry about it. It's normal. We're dealing with a lot of cheese here, so it's gonna be kind of thick. But like I say, it'll all pan out in the end. We're gonna add our peas and carrots. Like I say, it's a little thick, it's a little stringy because it's a lot of cheese, but it's gonna be all right, don't panic. We're gonna add the remaining of our milk. We're gonna add our pimentos. And we're gonna add our cream of chicken soup. Kind of mix that up, give it a stir. And now we're gonna add our ground beef. Give it a nice mix. All right, and now we're gonna add our noodles to the cheese sauce. And we're gonna mix that up. As you can see, it's not that thick anymore. It's gonna work out like I said. Just trust it. And we're just gonna spray our pan here with a little Pam. And we're gonna add our pasta to the pan. Not gonna put it all. It's gonna be a little left over in here, but that's all right. Let's see. Yep, I don't want to overfill it because I don't want the cheese to come spewing out once I put it in the oven. So we still have a little bit left in the pan over there, but it's not much, but that's all right. And we're gonna go ahead and top this off with some bacon. Just pieced up bacon. Like I said, it was 10 of the thick sliced bacon. Once it's cooked, all you gotta do is just break it apart, break it in pieces. You ain't gotta chop it, just break it in pieces. Just sprinkle that over the top. It ain't gotta be perfect. And then we're gonna top that off with some cheese. Depending on what brand tin you use, aluminum pan you use, you may want to double it. If you got the flimsy one, you might want to use 2 pans. And that's all the cheese. And we're gonna get this bad boy in the oven. You got a sheet pan underneath, just in case it leaks. Alrighty, it's done. Just pulled it out the oven. Haven't cooled down, so let's show y'all what it looked like. Looks good. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. Look forward to seeing you on the next one. Have a good one. Peace.